ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Well, you love the NFL. You love it all the time. You got NFL to talk about. There's always a Brett Favre type story or a Tom Brady type story or a Gronk type story. It was Deshaun Watson this time that lingers through the offseason. It's a football story, yet not a football story. And so you get that. And then you get Gronk yesterday saying, peace out again. But the agent says, but if Tommy calls, we'll see. Good morning to you. Merry rainy Wednesday. Like real rain on in the middle of the day. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. How you living?
What it do?
It's wet. It's a little
Just a bit.
slower. Give yourself a few extra minutes this morning. I mean, if you're just getting up now and kind of milling around and thinking, all right, it's just a little good soaking rain that,
Precipitation.
yeah, that you're not used to, and it's just a little slower out there. So give yourself some time as you go through it this morning. All right, lots going on this morning. We got the NBA draft tomorrow. NHL Stanley Cup final gets back up tonight. JJ was slated to do a soccer game on TV today. That won't happen for you. Kind of a bummer for you, huh? United postponed tonight's match until July 6th, I believe is what it is, which was a bummer because of the weather. They said they couldn't get the field down safely. My feeling was it was probably because they saw the rain coming. They had all yesterday and the day before to get the field down. There was no rain at all. I'm assuming it was more so they knew it was going to dump today and it was going to be pretty nasty. It would have been ugly to play.
The grass that they use
yeah.
got flooded.
Yeah. Oh, is that what happened?
Yes.
Okay, so, all right. So the grass where they store it got flooded. Well, that's unfortunate. Yeah, that makes it not safe. All right. So at least you're prepared.
Yeah, it was ready to go. So no United game, no draft show tomorrow.
No draft show tomorrow.
No.
What
Channel
happened to
7
that?
doesn't have a sports anchor available.
Where's Bethany?
Vacation.
What about you? I mean, I used to be a Channel 7 sports anchor.
Let's go. Bring us in.
I
We'll
mean,
take you to the 10 o'clock news.
Oh, man.
We can handle that.
You could. I figured you could do that. You all right. Well, that's a bummer. All right. Well, your hair looks good.
I'm ready to go.
Your hair looks good.
All
All
set
right.
for radio.
Yeah, and ProView Networks. Gronk retires. You buying it?
No. I
Why
think this
would
is
you?
absolutely a guy that wants to skip the offseason.
Oh.
Been there, done that. He knows that training camp is not something that he needs at this point in time. I agree 1,000,000% with Drew Rosenhaus's agent and Tom Brady that it gets into the season, it gets to a point, pick up the phone, call Rob Gronkowski, and he'll join the Buccaneers.
When am I looking? Am I looking late September, mid-October?
I think it could even be something right after training camp is over.
Okay,
Come in.
so most of the season.
Get a couple lifts in because Gronkowski is a guy that throughout his career has battled injuries. He's an old tight end. He's a physical player. That's what separates him. When you look at Rob Gronkowski, and he's in the all-time great conversation, his physical ability, how he plays on the line of scrimmage, how he was down the field, I believe this is one where he wants to miss camp, just a limit. The off-season work he has to do, just show up and catch footballs.
I and I know sometimes that broods animosity. That why do we have to go through camp and that guy doesn't? And at some point, there's some guys who earn he doesn't have to go through camp. Now Tom Brady will be there, but if Tom Brady said, "Yeah, I'm going to show up later and plug me in," Gronk, for what his role is, and I totally agree, he'll know the offense. Gronk is really good at chipping the defensive end and finding himself loose in the end zone, in the red zone. Gronk will stay in shape. I 100% agree with you. And when Drew Rosenhaus comes out and says, yeah, but if Tom Brady calls, then maybe he'll come back. Really? Really? All right. So to me, I can't agree with you more. Do you have a problem with it? Because I don't. And I know there's going to be people who say, well, then why have training camp? I mean, why should that guy get to miss training camp? Well, to your point,
That guy's done a bunch of training camps. He's played a bunch of NFL seasons, and
I think it does him a more disservice than service for training camp, don't you?
it's even go back to the year Tom Brady was suspended for 4 games to start the season. Everyone's like, you know what? Maybe this Tom Brady guy's a little fresher after not playing the first 4 games in the NFL season, and he's established Gronkowski as a player that he can slide into the game plan, and it's not like not having your quarterback for training camp, not having even like a center, middle linebacker, someone that is handling direct calls at the line of scrimmage.
Look,
Gronk shows up week 1 of the NFL season. We're talking about a dude that in just 143 games has the 5th most yards receiving, has 92 touchdowns
amongst tight ends.
Yeah. In NFL history, and is one of the most dominant playmakers at that position of this era.
Ever. I would tell you ever. I mean, take any era.
Yeah, even when you look at that tight end list and the difference makers that we've seen and the leaders, Tony Gonzalez, Jason Witten, Antonio Gates, and Shannon Sharp, one of the most explosive guys we've seen play the position. Gronk is just a matchup nightmare. He's a classic tight end with new school traits.
Explain that.
The guy that you can line up on the line of scrimmage. He'll put you in the ground. He'll play physical.
He can. And I don't. Do you think he gets enough credit for being physical at the line of scrimmage? Because I don't think he does.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Because he puts up really good receiving stats, and he did. Now his role is limited a bit, but still, when you look at what they're asking him to do, he excels in that role. And to me, this makes a ton of sense. If you're Gronkowski at this point in time, you're able to play that game because you're not someone that's going to destroy a game plan by not being at training camp. His attitude is something that is like golly shucks type of deal that
golly shucks
everyone seems to roll with. All right, he's partying, but the one thing come game time, Ron Gronkowski's going to show up for you.
Yeah, I think that's right, and especially when Tommy makes the call. Drew Rosenhaus, his agent, said yesterday, quote, "It would not surprise me if Tom Brady calls him during the season to come back and Rob answers the call. That's just my opinion, but I wouldn't be surprised if Rob comes back during the season or next season," end quote. Tommy put out on his Instagram, quote, "Teammate, friend, brother, just a few of the words that come to mind when I think of Gronk. Nobody has ever embodied the idea of leaving it all on the field like Rob has throughout his entire career. Every single snap, I knew that no matter how many people you put in front of him, he was going to get to his spot," end quote. Even more important, he continued, quote, is the person he was on the field, focused when he had to be, and F-U-N, capital F-U-N, the rest of the time. Having Gronk in the locker room was every NFL player's dream. I'm proud of all that we've accomplished together and even more excited for all you have ahead of you. Congrats, Gronk. You deserve it, end quote. Great career, great tight end. I don't think does anybody believe he's done? Because I was listening to stuff today to yesterday. Wow, this is a big deal now. Brady doesn't have him, and this is what does this do for the Bucs' chances? I'm thinking, first of all, they got 2 other tight ends that I think are pretty good, not this guy. But second of all, I just don't believe he's done.
I don't. I think it's just one where the offseason, it's a grind.
Yeah.
And it's why you see players take some days off, get days off when you're veterans. And I think that's what's going on with Gronk, man. He's battled a lot in his career. Injury-wise, the back, the elbow, get back on the field. And especially for Tampa Bay with Chris Godwin coming off knee injury. So it's going to be the Mike Evans show. Everyone's talking about Russell Gage. He's going to be a hot name in all your fantasy football drafts. Because Tom Brady said some positive words about him. I think we'll see Gronkowski being a presence for the Buccaneers in their pass game.
All right, 505-246-0610, 505-246-0610. Come on in and get in today. We're going to go quite a bit of NFL today with what's going on with the Washington Commanders. That's the Washington football team, formerly a bunch of things. The Deshaun Watson story took a turn yesterday. So we'll get into what that means. And where the NFL is really on this, and at what point does the NFL get to a point of conclusion? And just can we all move on? And I think when I say we all, it doesn't really matter for you and me. Although I know you want to know, I think it matters what the Cleveland Browns doing, and Baker Mayfield's still on that team. What are the odds Baker Mayfield plays significant snaps for the Cleveland Browns this year? And I think they're growing.
I think it's higher than it's ever been.
Yeah.
Because Cleveland could be done with the Baker Mayfield situation a long time ago. If they didn't want him in that locker room, the Carolina Panthers said, hey, pay the majority of his salary and he'll be our quarterback. And they could just be on with that, not worried about it. But they haven't gone there yet.
I'm starting to think that this has gone on, and while neither one wants to be together, the whole it's cheaper to keep her thing, it may be beneficial to both. It may give Baker a chance to show his value, to increase his value as he goes into the next offseason, especially if the NFL comes out and suspends Deshaun Watson for a full season, which is becoming more and more the popular opinion. Don't you agree? Now, just because it's a bunch of talking heads who are saying it doesn't mean that that's what's going to happen. But let's just say they spend him 8, 12 games. Are you better off with Baker Mayfield or Jacoby Brissett? And we can have a conversation about that because I know there's some of you who think
the only
Jacoby
time
Brissett.
it does happen if it gets to a full season.
Then you keep Baker Mayfield, right? As awkward, as uneasy, as uncomfortable, as unpleasant, as imperfect as that is, that's your best option, is it not?
I think anything less than one full season,
He's got to go.
they'll move on from Baker.
Because the two can't be in the same room?
I don't think they'd. In that case, if I'm Baker Mayfield, I wouldn't want to play 8 games and know week 9 or 10.
You're pulling me, no matter what.
No matter
It could
what
be 7-1. Yeah.
Deshaun Watson's the quarterback of that team.
Yeah. All right, 505-246-0610. Let's take the break. 888-922-0610. PGA reacted to Live, whether you want to call it a reaction or not. It certainly was. Somehow they found the money. So we're going to go there. When we come back, what Deshaun Watson settling the lawsuits, 20 of the 24 means. And if you haven't heard about it, we'll get into it. But what that all will mean moving forward. It's the Opening Drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Properties is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco. For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
All right, Deshaun Watson settled out of court 20 of his 24 civil lawsuits, according to his attorney. The terms will not be released, or at least were not, and I'm assuming they won't be. You'll probably hear some guesstimates and whatever, but that's where we are. So he settled a majority of the cases against him. Most of those women were all represented by the same attorney. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Buck. Tony Busby represents all of the 24 accusers. So each settled case, all 20 of the 24, so 20 that were settled, will be dismissed. The attorney, Busby, for the women, said in his statement yesterday, quote, "Today I announced that all cases against Deshaun Watson, with the exception of 4, have settled. We're working through the paperwork related to those settlements. Once we've done so, those particular cases will be dismissed. The terms and amounts of the settlements are confidential. We will not comment further on the settlements of those cases." So, okay. Those were payouts. All right. Here, what's your number? Make this go away. All right. That's how these tend to work, correct? I don't think this is a surprise.
What else can happen in a civil case?
Right. Well,
outside
it
of
could be tried,
but is there?
Oh, you mean as far as
yeah?
Once there's a verdict,
isn't that the ending is a settlement. This isn't a criminal trial.
Well,
so and this is where I'm asking where the difference of.
Well, it could have been an award.
Get to a settlement.
Yeah, it would have been an award. You're asking
either way,
for,
right?
You know, the accusers are asking for a number up here. And
or if it goes to trial, they can say no. There's nothing here.
That's certainly part of the risk.
Right?
Yes, yes. And that's why settlements are offered, right, to avoid trial with the risk of, well, if we go to trial, everybody's got to go through all of this. You got to relive this. You got to and you got to prove it, and you may lose. And so, where they get a trial, 24 of these. There's 4 that are still holding out. Ashley Solis is one of them. Her case is not settled. And according to the attorney, she is the hero of this story, or one of the heroes of this story, is what he called her. And that the 3 other brave women, according to the attorney, will continue. He said, I look forward to trying these cases in due course, consistent with other docket obligations and the court's schedules. So I don't know how, look, you weren't going to sit through 24 of these damn things. And I don't know if you're going to sit through one. But I do think that the public is interested. At some level, I think the NFL is interested in the details that are going to come out if one of these cases gets to trial, don't you think?
Yes.
But I also think the NFL's got to make a decision, because these aren't going to trial until most likely next calendar year. And you've got a football season that camp opens in 3 weeks. So I think you got to figure something out if you're the NFL. I got to believe they're there. They just haven't. I mean, what more do they want?
Were they waiting to see if all the cases were going to be settled and then say, okay, this isn't going to have more? Because the NFL can not quite, but pretty much do whatever they want, because they have renegotiated a lot, the players' union and the NFL, about where the discipline is coming from, who's making those decisions. It's not necessarily just Roger Goodell by himself.
Right, it's a disciplinary
committee. It comes down,
committee.
There's a committee.
Yeah.
And is there double jeopardy involved in the NFL, where they come down 8 games, but maybe something else in these 4 that remain open come down, and then it gets worse, and they say, well, now we're going to suspend you to the whole season?
According to the NFL, they released a statement yesterday, quote, today's development has no impact on the collectively bargained disciplinary process, end quote. No impact. So either they already had it figured out or they're not taking it into consideration. Rudy, good morning to you.
Good morning. Did I hear law?
Yeah, you kind of did.
Yes.
Being discussed?
Yes, you did.
So, okay. Well, NFL's not going to do anything to Deshaun Watson once he settles these civil cases.
Really? So you think he's playing
this
17
is a transfer
games?
of wealth, hush money case. Those are the most expensive massages Deshaun Watson ever got.
I would imagine so, man. What would you? I mean, is it worth taking a guess? We had heard that he had offered them all $100,000 last year. I mean, do they all settle for what? $500,000, $250,000? What do you think? I mean, and we have no idea.
I'm sure Busby's target is a total of $24 million. You know, and somewhere between $0 and $24 million. A lot of what's going to drive this is the confidentiality agreement.
That's right.
Because, you know, at the end of it, if none of these women come forward, what's the NFL going to do? And that's part of this whole negotiation. And you know Deshaun has, how much was his contract?
This year was $1 million, but it was $240 million guaranteed after that, right?
Yeah, $240 million guaranteed. So do the math. He's got plenty of money left over even after that. And by paying the hush money, and Solis is going to get the most because she was the one that was the leader of the pack. But this is nothing more than really a class action wrapped around, I don't know if I want to call it extortion, but it's legal extortion.
Well, why do you think the NFL is going to do nothing? So you think he plays all 17 games this year?
I think so, because they're not going to have anything to investigate after these cases are settled, because every one of these are going to contain a confidentiality clause.
Yeah, so now nobody can talk.
That says that none of these women are going to offer any testimony or any other comment other than it's been settled.
Interesting.
So how does the NFL then take those and go forward? They've already interviewed Deshaun, and he's already said, hey, look, nothing happened. They're greedy. You know, I used to hear this when Brian Urlacher and Kenny Thomas were around, and there are some people who are nothing more than mercenaries, and I'd hear some women saying, I'm going to get me some of that NFL money. I'm going to get me some of that NBA money.
Yeah, that's real.
Let's be honest. There are people out there in this world that are like that.
Yeah, that's real.
So I think that's really at the heart of this. That's what's going on. And by the way,
but it's a real thing. I don't think it's here. So you give this no credence that there's 24 of these women, these massage therapists who all kind of have the same story. You think there's nothing to it?
No, but what it is Deshaun was not circumspect enough. So you go around town and they all get together and compare stories, and all of a sudden you've got, enough pressure by a personal injury attorney. And like I said, in Texas, you can't sue doctors anymore for $250,000. That's the maximum you can obtain from a doctor who malpractices you. So a lot of the personal injury attorneys have done two things. They've fled to New Mexico, and they're looking for different kinds of cases, and that's exactly who Busby is.
Interesting.
All right, a lot of people call him an ambulance chaser, but, you know, to each his own. He did his job for his women, and they're going to get paid. So more power to him and them.
And so will he. All right, appreciate you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Sure thing.
See you.
Take care.
All right, 2460610. I just don't believe that. I think that he's getting nothing from the NFL. I just don't.
And I also don't believe that the amount of massage therapist Sean Watson tries to call that this was some extreme extortion plot against Deshaun Watson.
And I also don't think that they've already spoken to all these women. I think they've already probably got depositions from all these women. Now they get nothing more from them. There's no more that comes out, right? The confidentiality will prevent them from saying anything more. But I got to believe all these women have already been deposed by the NFL, right? So I love Rudy's opinions. I just don't see a scenario where I think that the National Football League does nothing. But we'll see. And I got to believe we'll see soon because camp's opening here in 3 weeks. 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. When we return, where did the PGA get all this money that they said they didn't have? And what is this? They're going to have big purses and no-cut tournaments, and I've heard that somewhere. That's coming up next. Hey, for some time, quite a while, in fact, I've been telling you about NuMale and how thousands of men benefit from their industry-leading testosterone replacement, how these men have felt better, stronger. They take care of fatigue and depression, even erectile dysfunction. Do you know that NuMale also specializes in hair restoration for men and women? Hair restoration without side effects. I'm going to give you the number, and then I'm going to tell you more about it. 505-652-1688. That's how to get a hold of them. 505-652-1688, or go to NuMale, NuMale.com. All right, NuMale has options for you. Platelet-rich plasma hair therapy. It uses your own platelets to stimulate stem cells deep in your hair follicle to stop hair loss and regrow hair. They have an FDA-cleared clinical hair restoration laser. It's proven to regrow hair. They also have NeoGraft hair transplants, which produce natural-looking results in less than a week with no linear scarring. The treatment works for both men and women who want a natural, thicker head of hair without side effects. NuMale's in Albuquerque. You can call them at 505-652-1688, 505-652-1688, or go online and visit them at NuMale.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit CarCrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated, with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the pet supply superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco. For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch.
All right, so at some point the PGA Tour had to respond, right? At some point the PGA Tour had to say, all right, what is it these guys want? Why are they all going? Well, we can't match their money. So what is it we can do to keep guys from all going over there? It's the opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. The LIV Series is offering more money, less work. Sounds right for everybody, doesn't it? I got to work less, I'm going to make more. So in response to what LIV has been, and it's been a real threat, PGA commissioner yesterday met with the players, and he will speak today to the media. But there's a revamped PGA schedule that is being proposed that could go into effect as soon as next calendar year, with increased purses worth at least $20 million in at least 8 existing, what they're calling marquee events. They're going to put new events in the Global Golf Series, no cut events. That's what LIV does. Limited fields, what LIV does. And at least $25 million purses. I've heard this is reactionary. Well, of course it is. And it was necessarily reactionary.
Phil Mickelson, all the other dudes, did a really poor job of highlighting what they wanted changed. Never did I hear them talk about the golfers that missed the cut.
Mm-hmm.
Never did I hear them talk about the struggles for others on the PGA Tour.
It was about them.
And I think that would have helped them highlight their message of what upset them, because I heard a lot of complaining. I heard a lot of whining. But it's the well-off dudes that were doing it, and so I think it fell on deaf ears.
Well, do you think they cared about the guys who weren't making the cuts?
Because that's what they're trying to say now. I was like, oh, we wanted to force these changes in the PGA Tour. Well, you didn't lay any of that out. You didn't talk about the challenges for the dudes. Like, we all had to go figure that out ourselves. Like, there were people that were talking about the events missing the cuts, as opposed to all you well-off dudes who have earned your money in the PGA Tour, but they're saying, "Oh, this tour, it ain't for me."
Yeah, I can't make a living here.
Okay, so that you got another tour that's going to hand you a lot of money because you're the best on the PGA Tour. They did a terrible job of explaining what they wanted to change. And if you're the PGA Tour, where does some of this money come from? Well, I don't know. Maybe you can take that $10 million from the whole Google search thing, put it back into the tournaments. That was ridiculous. And didn't make sense because who won that? Phil Mickelson. That took him like the extra $10 million into the season for being the most searched person or having the most buzz on social media. So there's things like that can go back into the players. And if you make the PGA Tour, even if you miss the cut, I think it's fair to ask that you don't leave in a hole from a tournament. I think that is absolutely
that it doesn't cost you.
It doesn't cost you when you earn your PGA Tour membership. You get to the PGA Tour, that even if you miss the cut, that you don't go home in a negative.
Well,
I think that's a fair ask.
Yeah. Should there be a stipend? Should it be, look, you get $10,000 to take care of your caddy and your travel?
I absolutely think that's fair when you earn that PGA Tour membership, because you're losing a lot of money on the way to get to that point.
Yeah.
And now you finally make it to the big stage, and you go home in a negative. I think that's something that, yeah, definitely needs to change. But no one was talking about that.
No,
It's
we
Phil
never heard
Mickelson.
that.
It's Bryson DeChambeau. It's Brooks Koepka. These dudes that have zero problem when it comes to that. And also, like, where did this whole no cut thing come from? Y'all don't want to compete now? Like, get out of here with that mess.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't want to have a tournament with a cut. Oh, so you don't want actually have a bad day and maybe end up getting less?
Well, let me
get out of here.
Does that limit the opportunity? No cut means less players, right? No cut, like you can't go to the Live Tour, the Live Series.
It's no cut because there's 54 dudes or 48
That's
dudes.
my point, right? So that's what you're cutting down to, near that number at the PGA Tour for the last 2 days. So you can't play a shotgun start with 125 guys. You can't. That's kind of their thing. So I don't know when that can. If you're playing no cut tournaments, that limits the number of slots
You're going to be taking
available.
opportunities.
Right. So isn't it better? As I sit here on the outside, and I need someone, and I know who we should call, but I need someone to talk to me about how that makes it better, because aren't you then taking away opportunities? If you're limiting the field, let's say to 60, and you're saying no cuts, and a normal field is 125-ish, what about the other 65 dudes who had an opportunity? Now you're saying, yeah, you don't get to compete. You didn't get cut, but you didn't get in. You don't get to make money this week. I do like the no wraparound schedule. They're going to a calendar year schedule. I never understood the wraparound schedule. The players never liked it. Players who took off after the majors, after the Ryder Cup or President's Cup, and kind of took the back end of the year. Once they started playing in Hawaii in January, they were behind in FedEx points, and they were playing catch up. And I never understood that anyway. So they're going to go to a full calendar year, which to me is 100% the right way to go. I guess they had reserves where they're finding money. They're going to their sponsors to get more money for these purses. The players who spoke, JJ, were impressed by this. Jay was really great, according to one player. He was talking about Jay Monahan. Harris English said, or I know this is another player, no way to combat that. We know that, but he's talking about the money that Liv has, the $600 billion. He says, but it's 3 events for $25 million, and it's not coming out of our pocket. Who's going to disagree with that? Will this fend people off from going to Live? Harris English said, quote, I think it can for sure. One of the things out here on the PGA Tour, I mean, we have a lot of tournaments, and I think the fall series has been rough. They're getting rid of that. Guys have families. They want to play a little less. However, they can manage that to the best of both worlds, having the top players and the guys who are fighting for their card. Because the guys you're talking about, The guys you're talking about who are between 100 and 125 that are fighting for their card, that are trying to get on tour. Those are the guys. You're right. Nobody's mentioned them. Nobody's giving a damn about them. And I haven't heard anything addressed as far as, I hear no cuts, but that's not going to be every week. And I'm not sure it should be. But should there be a travel stipend? Like not even turn in your receipts. I don't know what it costs to get from point A to point B with you and your caddy, to pay your caddy. Is it $10,000? Does that sound like a lot? Does that sound too much? Is it $5,000 stay in a Motel 6 instead of the Ritz-Carlton? I mean, I imagine, right?
Yeah, those things make a lot of sense for actually changing things for the PGA Tour. And at this point with Live Golf, if I'm one of those guys that's good, not great, and if the PGA Tour, it feels like it's on solid enough ground where it's not going to lose sponsors, if they can even keep it as is right now, I'm like, fine. You want some of those guys to leave those tournaments? More opportunities for me. And if
it feels that way,
if it stays the same, you get your Xander Schauffele, Patrick Cantlay, Colin Morikawa, just enough names in the PGA fields. Live takes, because not everyone's going. There's a cap on that. Because at some point, what is Live going to do then? Just start throwing 100 golfers out on that course? And that changes their whole business model.
How's the whole 54 thing work?
And
how they're paying everybody.
Yeah, and the money that the players are getting. So there's going to be a cap on it. You're not losing every marquee player from the PGA Tour. So if I'm one of those guys, I'm like, I like that the PGA Tour is addressing things. But if I know that, Liv's not going to pay me, but I have a chance to win on the PGA Tour, let's go. Because I believe this is something that it'll settle in. You'll have your Live Golf Tour, you have your PGA Tour, and then we'll have those stories in the majors where you'll finally see the crossover.
I'm looking down the list of the Travelers, okay, and this is the week after the U.S. Open. This isn't the strongest field, and there's plenty of dudes I don't know, okay, on the PGA this week, but there's plenty of names from Scotty Scheffler to Jordan Spieth and Zach Johnson and Matthew Wolff and Cameron Champ and Sam Burns and Keegan Bradley and Harris English and Luke Donald and Xander Schauffele. I mean, there's plenty of guys that are still here that are going to make this tour viable. And I think Monahan had to do something to pull this together, to keep it together, to show the players that he's listening. And the player, I hadn't heard a negative response from a PGA player yesterday. He goes, "Yeah, that's not enough. I'm out." Like, and maybe those are the guys who aren't commenting, or the guys who are thinking about jumping, right? But if you're listening, and you can have the best of both worlds, because are you committed when? And I'm going to assume you are. If you're Bryson, Reed, Phil, Brooks, you got to be committed to the 8, right? If they're paying you $200 million, $125 million signing bonus, you've got to play in each one of those.
And you're also, as of now, suspended from the PGA Tour. So here's something I want to throw out to you as we hit this break.
Yeah.
Should the PGA Tour continue with those suspensions, or do they need to live with players of that level? Because it's not going to be all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Live with them playing on both tours. And one thing I'm seeing a lot of people compare this to is IndyCar when they split
with Cart. Yeah.
And how it's never really gotten back. Is that what we're reviewing with the PGA Tour? It's not going to get destroyed, but is it going to lose its luster?
Yeah, it's very similar in structure to the way that happened, yes. I don't believe it loses its luster like open wheel racing did for a lot of people. I'll answer that question when we get back. 505-246-0610. But you can get in as well. Should the PGA back down and let those players go back and forth? I certainly have my thoughts. I'm going to assume you do too. They're probably not going to be the same. It's the opening drive at 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
New Mexico's best.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco. For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sounds.
Sports animal.
All right, so you asked the question, should the PGA just allow these guys to go back and forth? They can't. The answer's got to be no, because then why wouldn't everybody who's eligible go back and do that? And that those 8 weeks, you might as well shut down the PGA Tour, right? Or call it the Corn Ferry Tour. If you let all those guys go pick and choose, well, then what's keeping every one of these guys who are offered from going over, taking the live money, disappearing next week? I don't know what next week's tournament is, but whatever next week is, it's not the Travelers, it's the week after the Travelers, right? Well, I'll tell you what's next week, and that kind of just nullifies that event, doesn't it? I just don't know how you can do that at this point. My answer is absolutely not. No.
Yeah, that's one from a business interest. You have to do that at the PGA Tour. It's easy to say, oh, let the golfers play wherever they want. You still got to build a foundation somehow for the PGA Tour.
Yeah, I mean, next week, it's funny, we always say the John Deere. Next week you got the John Deere.
Let's go.
All right, and you're in Illinois. And you let them go, all right, you guys can play both tours, whichever you want. Well, who's going there and not playing in Portland for guaranteed money? Right? Now all of a sudden you're Xander Schauffele or Colin Morikawa or any of these guys. Wait, they want to give me $100 million, $125 million? I got to play eight tournaments, and I can still pick and choose here, and I can, well, I mean, yeah. Then it's easy, right? And then the tour falls apart. You think that would keep it together? By allowing these guys to go back and forth? Where are you on this? Because there's no way.
Yeah, I think there's two things, like kind of from the outside looking in, like what's the big deal there? Golfers let them play in the tournament. I think there's a lot of that going on.
Yeah.
And then there's the business side where you have to lock in your talent. And that is what the PGA Tour is doing by saying, all right, you go to the LIV Tour, that's all you get. But I think that's why these two entities, we're going to see them coexist. I don't think the PGA is going to fall apart because the fields are bigger.
Mm-hmm.
There's more opportunities.
There's plenty of guys.
There's plenty of golfers. There's going to be guys that pop, new names that interest us. And the key here to all of this is what happens with the major golf tournaments after this year.
Correct. Yeah, and look, as of now, they can all play. I still firmly believe that the money is going to be more important to most of these guys than the tradition. I do.
Absolutely.
I firmly, and as much as the majors mean something, here's why I believe the majors, the Masters, the U.S. Open, the Open Championship. Now, the PGA is the one outlier. I'm going to ask you this question because I'm convicted of my answer. Do you think the majors need the players more or the players need the majors more? Who needs...
The majors need the players more.
No doubt.
That's why you pay them.
No doubt.
And make them very happy.
Look, as much as a green jacket is great and the claret jug is wonderful and it means a lot and all these guys grew up with it, if for some reason they don't let them play anymore and they'll continue their tournaments, but it will mean less because there'll be less guys growing up in the next generation, 10 years, 20 years down the line if LIV continues. I will contend this until the day you... I mean, I don't know how you're going to convince me differently, and I know you made a promo of this the other day. To me, the money is going to be more important than any damn green jacket or claret jug or Wanamaker trophy that you put out there. It's great to win majors, and it's history, but you know what? Do they want to have more majors than Tiger Woods or have more money than Tiger Woods? And I think you know the answer.
And we're seeing that play out this week.
Yeah.
Have you said, outside of the first or second segment on Monday morning, anything else about who won the U.S. Open last weekend? Or have you talked about Brooks Koepka?
No, way more Brooks Koepka.
Not a dude who just won a major championship, which we're all talking about.
Matt Fitzpatrick.
It matters. Yeah. Tradition, yada, yada, yada.
I think the only one who mentioned Matt Fitzpatrick was Pat Dunn yesterday when we were talking hockey. Yeah.
Right there is case. We're coming off a major championship weekend. No one cares about Matthew Fitzpatrick, but you're looking at these headlines of LIV Golf and the impact it's having.
Yeah, I have no doubt that's where that's so you can't have them both. And if LIV decides that they want to start their own tradition and have their majors and have $50 million purses and the winner gets $10 million, look, man, I don't know when that money dries up. I mean, they're just pulling it out of the ground, right? So to me, the answer is no. But I think the majors, to your point, it's going to be a big deal. Do they continue to allow them to play? And to me, the answer is yes. because it behooves the Masters, it behooves the Open Championship, which is the 150th British Open, as you like to call it, or the Open Championship. And it confirmed yesterday that they will allow Live Series players to participate. Tell me, in what interest is the U.S. Open, the Masters, or the Open Championship? How is it in their interest to not let those players in?
It doesn't.
I mean, they'll go extinct. I firmly believe that. No, Jeff, there's so much tradition, and everybody wants a green jacket, and everybody wants to play. Yeah, we all want to play at Augusta and the old course. And yes. But again, I got a chance to win $4 million a week playing on that tour, or more because of my team wins, right? What did Charles Schwartzel won $4.75 million in 1 week, right? Between his individual victory and his team victory. If you win the U.S. Open, you win like 1.8. British Open, 1 point. I mean, okay, and I get this cool jug. And my name's on the Wanamaker. Whatever. It's really cool and all. I don't know, man. 4.8 million sounds like more than 1.8.
Definitely.
And I can do that how many times? And the field's
Guaranteed.
smaller, and they're paying me a bonus? I mean, the green jacket's nice and all, but I got a nice tailor. He'll make me one. It'll fit better. Oh, I don't get to go to the Champions Dinner and hang out with that guy? I don't like him anyway. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit CarCrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated, with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the pet supply superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco. For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're #1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best.
thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Everguard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Everguard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sound of a safe place to go after school.
Master of the Year, Jeff Cimbietta and JJ Bond.
All right, come on in on your thoughts on the golf. It's really interesting. I have not this subject, this LIV Golf's PGA subject, would you say has generated more input to our show via telephone calls and or text and or emails over the last 2 weeks than any subject outside the National Football League?
I was going to say probably
and
one
maybe,
NFL subject, but
yeah, no, in NFL and maybe a little basketball.
yeah, that sounds about right.
Right? We've never talked this much about. I don't even think the NBA Finals.
It's very entertaining.
Well, and it's not just us talking. I mean, the conversation that's been coming in. I don't think we've ever talked this much about the NBA Finals, about any soccer topic ever, except for maybe the stadium.
Stadium. That's true.
Well, it's unique because it can't happen anywhere else.
True.
Like you're not going to convince Deshaun Watson to go to the XFL.
All right, so let me give you an analogy.
Aaron Rodgers, the money is so immense these days that you can say, "Oh, remember back when?" Well, it's not back when anymore. It's right now.
Now, I'm going to give you an analogy that I don't believe is absolutely parallel, but I think it's close, and it's certainly a what if, right? It's hypothetical, and I don't think it would ever happen. But and I understand one's a team sport, and this is an individual sport. And you're going to tell me, well, those guys are under, he's under contract to play for his team, and they're not, and we could have that conversation. But I know I brought this up before. What if, and I'll say China, because Chinese money is somewhat parallel to what you feel about Saudi money, right? What if the Chinese Professional Basketball League during season offered LeBron James a $200 million signing bonus and $4 million a game to go over and wanted him to play 8 games during the NBA season? And so he said, peace out. I'm leaving this week and this week and this week and this week, and I'm missing 14 games. Well, Jeff, he misses 14 games anyway. It's load management. Why is that a problem? Would that be okay? Well, LeBron should be able to make his money. He should be able to play where he wants. They're offering him, a $200 million signing bonus, which is what Phil got, right? Mm-hmm. And he's going over and he's making guaranteed money, and it's great money. Wow, it's blood money. Do you know how the Chinese, how they treat the Uyghurs? Hey, how can we take that? That's horrible. Oh, no, let him go play. He should be able to play where he wants. He's an individual. It's a free country. And I know it's not exact, but it's pretty damn close to parallel, isn't it?
Yeah, it gets you.
How would people feel?
Well, I think if in that case, the world would explode because it's LeBron James.
All right,
and
take Luka Doncic.
Right, I think it would just
somebody else.
Reinforce that's why I hated this guy all along.
All right, give me another player. Take Kawhi Leonard.
Anyone over there.
Kevin Durant. Giannis Antetokounmpo.
You'd have some dudes think about that in a heartbeat because they're like, well, all right, void this contract. I don't know how long, say, a team would retain his rights.
Well, they would, but then somebody else would take him, right?
Yeah, he's like, who cares? I just got $200 million.
So, would he do it? And how would you feel about that? What would be like? Honestly, tell me the difference. Well, one's a team sport, the other is an individual sport, and LeBron's under contract to the Lakers, and I'm sure it says he can't go play for someone else. Well, he can go bleep it. I'm going to go to another country. What are you going to do about it? You want to sue me? All right, take the rest of. I'll take the rest of what's left on my contract. Fine. Take you want that $40 million? Take it. I'm going to make $200 million guaranteed plus $4 million a game. Should he be able to do that? I asked the people who are saying they should be able to play on both tours. Would that be good for the NBA? Oh, let me make it this way then. Then should he be able to play in the All-Star game and the NBA championships, even the playoffs? And what if two of those games happen to be during, let's just say, the first round of the playoffs and maybe the third round? But he's got to go over there and play. You cool with it? Just asking. Of course you're not. Of course you're not. I mean, make your choice and live with it. I got no problem with the guys who are doing it. I know a ton of you are screaming about the Saudi money, and I was kind of hearing it. I'm somewhat over where the money's coming from, you guys. And I knew I would get there. I got to believe I got Saudi oil in my car. I got to believe there's probably Saudi oil heating homes. And look, if the country's doing business with the Saudis, I imagine individuals can too. Right? Am I way off on this? Is that am I turning a blind eye to human rights violations here?
No.
Because I'm not intending to. I think what they do is horrible. How they treat people is horrible. I'm not saying it's okay, but I'm just not. They're part of the global economy. They're part of. If our country is somehow doing business with them on a daily basis for products,
which they are,
as we are with the Chinese, right? So individuals shouldn't. I'm struggling with that a little bit. I mean, I don't know.
And that's the pushback, though.
What is? Where the money's coming from?
Yes.
So I asked.
And they look at big life events like 9/11 and the murder of the journalists. And
no, it's horrible.
I'm not saying just, and I.
Yeah, you're not.
I want to be careful with my words because it's very tough to say that in a sentence. But
yeah, it's not that's okay. But
you know what's happening, and it's the people that are able to be convicted in their opinions. Is the Saudis are getting exactly what they wanted out of this as well.
That's correct.
It's just sports washing.
That's correct.
Because of golf, we are saying, those other things, we can't take a stand on that. Because of, it is the ultimate whataboutism. Because you have oil in your car, thus we can't be mad at these guys taking money from the Saudis.
I mean, look, every time you buy a gallon of gas, I mean, did you DNA test it? Is it from the Permian Basin or is it from Saudi Arabia? Do you know? You don't. I'm not certain that you give a damn, do you? As long as it got you to work, right? Got you to Disneyland. You don't care, do you? Well, Jeff, we need that. We don't need this. All right, I'm listening. That's different. You're right. You're right.
Because this is something that you can, if you don't like film because you don't like these guys, you're not trying to say you're perfect, but you can say, you know what, I'm not going to watch the Live Golf Tour then. Like that's what you can do. That's all you can do at this point. Instead, I'm not going to let them sports wash all that other stuff away.
Gopher says, what's the end game, Jeffy? Businessmen with a lot of money don't do many things pro bono. They like to make more money. With all the cash Liv is shelling out for mediocre golfers, where/when is their payout coming? They think they're going to make it up with sponsors, rich new TV contracts. I do think that, yeah. I think they think they're going to get international television contracts.
You know where it's coming from, Gopher?
Yeah, well, it's coming from
the fact that we are, honestly, all of us are sports 100%. Washing their atrocities away.
Yeah.
Yes. That's their payout that they're getting.
Yeah, but how are they making their money back is what he's saying. And it's going to be sponsorships. And it's, yeah, I think all that's right. Let me ask you this. If this was being funded by private enterprise, meaning, I don't know, I mean, what don't we have a problem with? Everybody's got a problem with everything. What would be acceptable money, Amory?
Walmart.
All right. What if this was all right? Fine. Walmart.
That Walmart money gets
I almost said
Broncos.
Shell oil, but oh no, it's fossil fuel. We can't do that. What if this was being funded by
Elon Musk?
Okay.
Ooh, good one.
All right. Do we have a problem with the
also?
But that would be political.
That's
right. That'd be right down
political.
right and left lines. What if this was? Pick whatever Greenpeace, whatever smiley face company makes you happy. Okay, say there was some corporation that just, I mean, Cheerios. No, not Cheerios. Twinkies. No, that makes you fat. Jolly Rancher. No, he doesn't like Jolly Ranchers. Reese's. Okay, what if Hershey's
Bologna.
Reese's? Not everybody likes bologna, but everybody likes Reese's peanut butter cups, right?
I hope.
If we come to happy medium.
I mean, are we talking about us three?
I think we're talking about
everyone.
99.9% of society.
All right. So what if this was
doesn't have
the
a
Reese's
peanut butter allergy?
Peanut Butter Cup Tour, and the money, the $600 billion, was being put up by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, not by an oppressive government, not by a controversial company. Reese's. All right. So now you take that piece out of the equation. Are we more okay with what's going on here? Are then you telling me
Absolutely.
they should still play on the PGA? They still have to make their choice, right?
I would be upset if someone chose to play on the PGA Tour over the Reese's Cup Tour. You remember, I miss Reese's sponsoring the Mountain West tournament. It was the best
100%.
tournament.
We would go
college basketball because there was Reese's
everywhere.
Everywhere,
Marie. You'd go back to that meeting room. They'd be on the tables.
You'd have to fight people for them because right when they put that box out,
gone.
It was a stampede.
Didn't they have like that Reese's ice cream in the little ice cream freezer that they have there too?
Ooh, that sounds delicious.
It was
the
good
best
partnership in sports.
Yeah.
When I'm in Las Vegas with you, Jeff.
Yep.
I know it's football.
Yep.
But I'm going to talk to the powers that be and going, why did this relationship end?
Yeah, no,
Get
that's really
Reese's
fair.
back involved in the Mountain West.
I think that's really fair. But we're not having that conversation, right? About the where the money's coming from.
But
at that point. I get it. So is that the only pushback here that people have?
Yeah, because it's
Or is it
a
you're
major one.
splitting up my game? Because people love this game. Like, as much as you want to sit here and tell me nobody watches golf, BS,
They do.
man. People watch golf. That's why it's on every damn week. I tell you, that's why college football's on Tuesday night. You know why?
People watch
That's right. So people watch golf. People love golf. Millions and millions. It's one of the biggest participation sports in our country. I think bowling is number 1, and I think golf is number 2. All right, everybody
seems to have a better niche on
well, I mean,
television.
Not everybody plays 100%. Not everybody plays it well, but we all go out there and shop. And we hit a couple of good shots and have a couple of cocktails and win prizes and come back with cutting boards and whiskey glasses, and everybody's happy. Or however that works. So you're screwing with my game now.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're screwing with my game. So is the issue for the people
It's
who
a
really
double whammy.
Yeah.
It is.
But it's more so where the money's coming from? Is that what
Yes.
people are holding on to?
Because you have to hold on to that, Jeff,
All right.
at some point
I'm
in time.
fine.
Because we can sit here and if we play the what about game with anything in life, then we can hold no one accountable. Like, there's zero accountability for anyone because there's always going to be an out. But like, oh, well, you bought this the other day and it was a plastic toy from China, so there's no way you can condemn this person over here.
No,
I think that
what
that
is
is
what you
something.
call it all the time, situational ethics.
Yes, so I do think that it's something we all need to be aware of in a case like this.
So where should and I know we're late for break. We're gonna go. Where should the outrage be? I mean, what's the level? It's they kill journalists and their human rights, and they kill gay people, and it's horrible. And there's no but, right? Like that. Period. It is horrible. It's inexcusable. There's no, yeah, but they're scary MFers. But no. Period. And we're doing business with them. Is it? I mean, how do you justify it's okay to do business, take their oil? Well, we need their oil. We don't need their golf. Okay. All right. One's a necessity, one's not. Okay, I'm listening to you. Is that the only thing we get from the Saudis? What else do we trade with them? There's got to be. I mean, I don't know. I should know. I don't. But is it a stretch to say the country is doing business with that country, but individuals should not do business with that country? It feels like a stretch to me to fulfill your argument, to feel your end. And that's where I go to the beginning of this conversation weeks ago, where my outrage is limited because I can't sit here and promise you I wouldn't do the same thing. I always try to put myself in shoes of people about whom we speak, right, JJ?
Yeah.
And somebody comes to me and says, here's a $125 million signing bonus plus these 8 tournaments where you minimum you'll make is 120 if you finish dead last, and you know you're not going to finish dead last. So you're going to make all this. We start doing the calculations like, damn, I can't sit here and promise you I wouldn't do that. It's the opening drive at 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Dell Technologies and Windows.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit CarCrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco. For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch it.
All right, I don't know if you know this. I didn't know this either. U.S. total imports of agricultural products, not oil, from Saudi Arabia in 2019 totaled 7 million. It doesn't sound like a lot. The U.S. imports of services from Saudi Arabia were estimated at $1.5 billion in 2019. 1.5 billion. What are we taking in? Did you know we get processed fruits and vegetables from them? Snack foods, wine and beer, vegetable juices, roasted and instant coffee. What are you drinking right now? Oh, is that Saudi coffee? Easy. This is all I'm saying, man. If our country is doing business with them, okay, and that's your biggest issue, is that these guys are doing business with them. I'm trying. How do you justify? Well, we can use their oil, we can use their coffee, we can use their nuts and their, but we can't take their money to play golf. That's where I am. And you can talk me off the ledge, or try to anyway. I don't know that you can. I think that's kind of where I am at this point. 505-246-0610 if you want to get in. 888-922-0610. AC says, good morning, Jeff. I don't know the answer, but do golfers have contracts with the PGA? NBA players have contracts, but I thought golfers get paid by the tournament, not by the PGA. That's why I think LeBron versus the golfer is different in your scenario. It is different. No, I acknowledge that, AC, and I appreciate that. They have an agreement with the PGA. Now, they've got they have a card. They earn their PGA card. That gives them their exempt status on the PGA, and so they abide by the rules, the bylaws. Now, I don't know, honestly, AC, if there's an exclusivity, because there's, Jay, they got a reciprocity with, like, the European tours, right? A lot of guys play on the Asian tour and the European tours and different events. This is obviously a competing tour that is different. So I to be honest with you, and I've tried to find this, I don't know what the exclusivity clauses in there are. And you're right, AC, you're right. This is, are they under contract? He is. I'm just trying to draw a little bit of an analogy. And I acknowledge it. It's not apples to apples. Saudi apples to Saudi. I'm sorry. But fair enough. All right. We got some other stuff. Hey, JJ. This one says, hey, JJ. Or it says, hey, JJ. There's two hey-hays. It's from Richard. He says, Chris Bryant's now played more games the last 2 months for Isotopes than the Rockies. How much did it cost to pull him out of the transfer portal? That should explain why they're 8 games under 500 in Denver.
Man, I was thinking about this on the way home last night.
Yeah.
Listening to Josh Ushan. Open up the mic. He's like, welcome to Las Vegas. Isotopes in town. Chris Bryant back to help the Isotopes. I'm like, what a terrible signing. Not that he's been hurt, but from day one, the Chris Bryant signing made no sense for a team that wasn't competing this season. Yep. To just, there's no salary cap floor. Like, you don't have to pay money out. This was the year.
That was, I'll tell you what it was.
And Chris Bryant is not going to sell tickets in Denver.
Oh, that's what they thought. They were trying to show their fans, look, no, we're really trying. Look what we did. We went out in the free agent market and we made a splash and we signed this guy and paid him all this money and he's going to make a difference in Albuquerque. And that's 100% what it was.
Everyone could see through that.
I agree with that.
If you wanted to go spend money somewhere, at least throw it on a bunch of pitchers.
Which is tough.
Bad pitchers, at least.
Bad pitchers.
Remember Mike Hampton?
Yeah, I do.
Danny Nagel?
Yeah, oh yeah. Danny Nagel.
Terrible contracts for the Rockies back in the day. But this signing made zero sense from the beginning. It's, we're trying to compete. Look, Ryan McMahon, Brendan Rodgers. That's core. No, just eat it. This was going to be a bad year. Like, you're not as close as you expected to be. From day one, before the injuries, the Chris Bryant contract was a bad one for the Colorado Rockies.
Colorado Rockies are in last place in the National League West. That would be 5th. 30-38. And it's, I look at the whole thing and you think, okay, last place, they're going to be buried. And I look at last place in the National League East, and the Nationals are 21 games below 500. I look at last place in the National League Central. The Reds are 21 games below 500. I look in the AL West, the A's are 23 games below 500. We're not the All-Star break yet, and these teams are all 20. And then there's the Rockies, who are in last place in 12 games back, and they're 8 games under 500. They're not horrible. They're not good. They're not horrible, but in this division.
But it's not one that, even if Chris Bryant is playing, he's not.
What's he, 2 games different?
Making up 8 games.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Got another one on the baseball from last night. Ken says, how presage was this, Jeff? You can make money listening to the opening drive. Was it Speech who said the Las Vegas Stars in the money line last night? If you did, you got an easy cash against Albuquerque's baseball team. Tope's 7-game win streak came to an end last night in Las Vegas. They lost to the Aviators. This one. All right, so this one's on United. Not playing necessarily. Well, certainly not. If you had not heard, tonight's match, which was scheduled against Rio Grande Valley, has been postponed until July 6th. The reason was, and so Peter said he put out a video, which was really. Did you watch the video? All the choppy edits, like it was really weird to watch. But okay, so it said that they couldn't get the field down, right? Is that what it said? And so you were telling me the grass that they used to put it down got flooded wherever it is they keep it?
Yes.
Okay. James says Peter Trevisani is Peter Trevisani going to use every opportunity he gets to cry for a new gym, Jeffy? I guess all this rain that forced me to take a boat into work this morning wouldn't have impacted a Dividers field. So if he had his own field, it would have been fine tonight, is what he's saying. Look, man.
The answer to that question is yes. Because you have your field, you have your drainage. Like if there was a baseball,
covered, it would
like they would have covered it.
Yep.
Just like if the Ice Hopes are playing a game,
yes,
the outfield would have drained. They covered the infield, and if it's not raining, they would have played a game. This is the sod that they bring in, because they bring
to cover the infield
grass.
Yeah,
got flooded, and so you're just left with like mud. Wherever they store, I think it's out in Moriarty.
I don't know. So but it'll be okay for this weekend? With all this more rain? Are they covering it now, or? I mean, I honestly don't know the answer.
I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah.
But they had a sod issue.
Okay.
They didn't have any grass put over the dirt. And I got to believe that whoever is handling that might have been able to adjust and potentially. I don't know the details. That's all I got yesterday in Morky Mountain paper.
When they called you and told you we don't need you this
like, hey, thanks.
JJ had 2 TV assignments for this week, and now he's got none.
None.
Because of the rain. He got rained out.
Monsoon season.
JJ got rained out.
Gosh, JJ.
That ain't right, man. And his hair looks so good.
I know.
It's all clean
and
on
he
the sides.
hustles.
I know he busts
works
his
butt
backside.
off.
I know. That ain't right.
Wonder what.
I'm bringing you some Reese's.
Sounds good.
That certainly sounds good.
But you bring up a great point, Jeff.
What?
What's different about Saturday? Were they just not prepared for the rain at the sod place, but now they are?
Yeah, no, I mean, so
I don't know.
I didn't know that was the issue.
Yeah.
They said they just couldn't get it down. I'm like, well, it didn't rain the last 2 days. Like why? My initial thought was, they knew the forecast was it was going to dump today. Would they have played in the rain? They play in the rain, right?
As long as it's like
Not
anything
lightning.
else, as long as there's no lightning.
Right. So my thought was they probably didn't want to play and rip up that field. I'm sure the Ice Hopes said, hey, can maybe, right? It certainly would have impacted the crowd on a Wednesday night if it was dumping.
Yep.
Right? It would. So, hey, for everybody, I mean, the field. So let's just say we can't put down the field. The last 2 days were perfect. I mean, it didn't rain Monday or Tuesday. So my initial thought was,
we played it.
Why couldn't you put the? Of course you could have
rescheduling it a little bit.
Yeah,
that comes into play. Yes.
Yeah,
So,
but I didn't know their sod got flooded, and so if that's the case, if it got flooded over the weekend, then did they take it? Did they take it inside to dry it out?
How do you dry out
when it's dumping today? Yeah, I don't know.
Question.
Yeah, I either way, they're not playing tonight. And again, I wouldn't have had a problem if you told me, hey, the conditions are going to be really bad on Wednesday. We got an open date on July 6th. We can both make it. Let's take our chances on July 6th. I wouldn't have had a problem with that. So, hey, Dan wants you to start working on a football scout. He wants to know, where's that main scout? So, is this your first opening football day with us? When did you
Yes.
start? All right.
Well, no, August 13th.
So did you do
last
the
year.
Houston Baptist scout last year?
It was funny. That was the week Bobcat did
Bob
it.
did.
Oh, so
Do you remember
Bobcat.
that?
Yeah, that's right. So it falls on
He was
you.
like training me, and then you guys weren't. I wasn't allowed
That's
to
right.
speak.
And he
Remember that?
Remember he.
They were like, "You have a weird mystery person in the back
There's this
studio."
woman back there. Yeah. I do
can't tell you
remember
who it
that.
is.
And Bob gave this insanely detailed scout, and I remember I took all. I've never.
I will have a scouting report. I'll make Walpole proud.
I didn't have the heart to tell you this.
What?
JJ knows. So remember, I did that game on TV, right? So I
Yeah.
took all his notes. I'm like, Bob did all this work. It was from the year before.
Oh, stop.
Yeah, it was.
We'll never let him know.
What's that?
Some of it didn't match up.
Yes, it just
Okay.
it didn't match up to the roster.
And you brought.
No, I didn't bring it. As I was prepping
You're
during
like,
the week,
wait
I'm
a
like,
second.
oh, look, I got all this. Well, that's not there. Who's that guy? What? Yeah.
Okay, we can't ever tell him.
No.
No. We love Bobcat. We can't ever tell him.
But the point is, Jeffrey, Juan Jose, Ana Maria.
I'm on it.
It feels like fall. Last night was a 2-blanket night. It was almost chilly. Where's the main scout? So you got to be on.
I'm
main
here.
Scout. All right. I just so you know. I didn't even. I've never told you that story. All right. What's your financial goals? I know you've got financial goals, and Kirtland Federal Credit Union will help you achieve those financial goals, whatever they are. They, over at Kirtland Federal Credit Union, have products and personal service that will get you there. How can they help you today? It's banking made easy. You can save time and money with free tools at kirtlandfcu.org. Banking should be easy. Everything from online banking and bill pay to security to mobile banking. 30,000 nationwide ATMs. So no matter where you are, there's an ATM close to you so you can get some money. Of course, they have e-statements and the Independence debit card, the little red card backed by the Go Anywhere, Buy Anything power of Visa, offers you exclusive purchase rewards in your online banking account. They will help you with auto loans, home loans, refis, and planning for retirement. It's all there at Kirtland Federal Credit Union. You can stop by any branch for details or visit them online, kirtlandfcu.org. That's kirtlandfcu.org. Membership eligibility required. See your representative for complete details.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated, with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dreams are stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast
5.9
possible.
FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
All right, so Gronk's retired, and Todd says, is this just a case of not wanting to play in the NFL's mindless, endless, pointless preseason? Come Labor Day, do we have a Gronk sighting in Tampa Bay? It's from Todd.
Absolutely.
100% that's what this is.
Preseason is for players that have not made the league, have not made the team.
How about if I give you a 98% that's what this is? Maybe not 100%, but yeah.
98% sounds good.
And Drew Rosenhaus almost said as much. Yeah, Todd, we had this conversation earlier today, and I appreciate bringing it back up. But yeah, this is a guy whose body, he missed, 5 games last year? 4 games last year? He's there when it matters. He gets beat up. He's a veteran. He's one of the best tight ends in the history of the game, and he doesn't want to go through that crap. Now, you can sit here and tell me nobody wants to. All right. He's kind of one of the few who've earned the right to say, yeah, I'm not going to do preseason. There's a reason the Rams don't play their players in preseason games, right? In some cases, and Gronk's is probably one of them, and I don't know that every case. I think training camp's still necessary. This isn't a game where you can just roll it out and play. But in some cases, might do more harm than good. That guy's body's got enough miles on it, enough hits, that, yeah, can he probably come in and chip off a defensive end and get open in the end zone if he misses camp? I'm going to guess the answer is yeah. So, Todd, yeah, I think the answer is probably yes on that. Sebastian's going to be with us at 9 o'clock this morning. Appreciate his flexibility. His boss didn't, we had a spot in the golf room. That's who I should have called the other day. Sebastian could have played in the New Mexico Bowl golf tournament.
Oh, man.
Kyle took a spot though.
My husband had the best time.
Did he though?
He wanted to play he was like, I could play another 9.
You didn't drink enough then.
Oh, I think he had plenty.
Do you?
But I just love how I got 1 mini.
That's what you
brought
got?
back. He's like, no, we're gonna use the charcuterie board for football season. But
There you
it's
are.
just like he's like, I brought you something.
Did you say charcuterie?
I'm sorry. Yeah,
How do you spell charcuterie?
I can't even say it.
How do
I
you
usually
spell
say
it?
charcuterie board.
So that's what the little cutting boards are called?
Yeah, like when you put all the little meats and cheeses.
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
I
heard that
say
before.
I don't know if I'm allowed
Yeah, I
to say
think
it on
it's-
radio.
it's,
I call it something else, but
It's not a cutting board. It's like
a charcuterie board.
Yeah.
yeah, like a serving.
No,
little.
I've heard that. Yeah. And
We're gonna use it during football season for snacks.
You can use it anytime you
below.
want.
I know, but we're really excited to watch. He was very excited about that to use during football season.
So,
and my
this
mini
was
of
one
makers.
this was one of those. There's been decisions I've made in my going on 17 years as the executive director of this event. That I made the decision, and then I'm like, oh, but how's it going to be? One of them was when we moved our welcome event from El Pinto to, at the time, now we go to main event. And Carrie talked me into it. First of all, you're limited. You got to find a place indoors, right? Climate control that can handle 450 people. There's not that many. And secondly, we need an event. And we'd done Addie's party when she was 6 years old at ITS. And I came back. That's where Edward brought the cake, the half-eaten cake. It's a true story. And Edward, a listener to our show. And Carrie, who worked with us, he was our operations manager, says, well, could we do our welcome event there? And I said, well, what do you mean could we do a welcome event? I mean, it's kids games. And he's like, they're just a bunch of big kids. I'm like, you're right. And so we planned it out, and I was super nervous. In the first game, it was Arizona against Nevada, and we had them in there. And when I saw these big linemen doing the spinny, twirly thing, and Rich Rodriguez shooting guns, at the video game, and everybody just, I'm like, okay. The other one was these cutting boards, or what is it, charcuterie?
Yeah, it's a tough word for me, so I call it something else. But charcuterie
All right,
board.
so that was the other one.
Oh, that's really funny.
We've done so many of these gifts over the years. Like, what do I do that's different but kind of cool? And the way I try to gift, you know me, right? I try to gift something that's cool that you might not buy for yourself.
Yeah, that was good.
Right? And I'm like, okay, well, these guys they got so much stuff with our logo on it, and it went over really well. That and the glass, the bourbon glass,
the glass,
with the cigar cutout.
Yeah, and the polos were sick.
They were nice, huh? Yeah, but this was one of those where I made a decision, and I'm like, all right, I'm making it, but I'm not sold on it. Mon was.
It was a good choice.
Yeah, all right. I'm glad they came out good. Yeah, I think people liked them. But you ever make a decision? You're like, am I gonna live or die with it?
Like looking back on it now, that we have the bigger places like that makes a ton of sense. Like if you're a college athlete, come in, it's like, oh, we're hanging out. Main event for a couple hours, that's cool.
They love it. No, all they can do
El
themselves.
Pinto, like
That's where my nephew's
I don't
having
like
his
green
birthday.
chili, y'all. What is?
Well,
I've never been to main event. I'm going today. Actually, that's weird enough.
I might have some cards for you. The El Pinto. Oh, they're not. They're in my car. My daughter has my car, so I don't.
Addie, meet me.
The El Pinto thing was great for you and me, the adults, right? And they got the sample of the foods, and we did a green chili cook-off, and for like $7. I remember going.
Is
back.
that where you can bring your own bottle?
I don't know.
Okay, anyways.
Went in the back room one time, and it was Fresno State, and guys were sitting around, and I'm like, how was the food, guys? Oh, it was all right. You know, did you enjoy it? I like the red chili ribs. He's like, I like the bread. The bread? Yeah, put the honey on it. And I'm like, that they like the sopapillas. That's what, ding, who are we doing this for? Am I doing it for the student athletes or for the administrators? And yeah, that. And you think about it, we can't go to the beach. It's cold. It could be snowing. Well, we don't have a beach. But you can't do something outside. People are like, Top Golf. Well, it could be freezing and snowing sideways. You just don't know. So, yeah, that was one of those. Anyway, I'm glad you like the cutting board.
Inside
or the
board.
charcuterie board.
Charcuterie board.
Sebastian Noel's going to be with us coming up at 9 o'clock this morning. Talk about the Gladiators, what's going on, off-season high school stuff. There's some coaching stuff, so we'll catch up with him, the voice of the people from ProView Networks. That's at 9 o'clock on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
Celebrate.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco. For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
All right. Sebastian's going to be with us at 9. We'll talk gladiators and high school stuff. Your emails are coming in this morning. Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com. JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. Did I see an email that you're actually taking 2 days of vacation?
Yes.
How about that?
Like staycation?
Like-
or are you going
like-
somewhere?
No, it's just I had to sleep in for an extra hour.
Dude, JJ works his backside
Yeah,
off.
no, he should take some time.
So Austin runs in. The sun's up. Okay.
Oh no.
Gotcha.
Yeah, how much for vacation?
And now like the sun goes down later, so does he?
Yeah.
He's like, the sun's still up. I'm not
Sun's
going to
still
bed.
up. That's funny, actually. Yeah. In December, will you go to bed at 5?
Things based on the sun. Is the sun still up? Like, yes. It's still.
Me too.
Still
Me
play.
too. Me too. Hey, you want to come over here tomorrow? Celebrate Title
Yeah,
IX?
let's
You
do
know
it.
tomorrow's the 50th anniversary of Title IX. So to celebrate Title IX, I believe you should have equal. Sam, come over here and hang out.
Women on the radio.
Oh, thank you so much. Oh, we should have people. We should dedicate a segment to where people call in and quiz me. Marty,
Women
we
in
need you
sports.
tomorrow. And it can only be women's sports from like the early 90s.
Name 3.
Orlando Magic.
No, it's got to be women's sports. Seattle.
Oh, tomorrow I'll know.
Seattle Skies.
Oh, yeah, that's true. But I will learn a lot about
Are
the
they
Orlando
Skies?
Magic tomorrow.
Are they Skies?
Oh, that's interesting.
They don't all work as well as magicians.
No.
Orlando. Name 3 Orlando magicians.
My friend just got a job with Orlando Magic. I'm going to hit her up, actually. I was laughing when I saw that on Facebook the other day.
That's actually really cool.
I know.
All right, Ken says, we've talked a lot about live golf. And I don't know that I disagree with this. Ken says live is made for the 15-time major circus, Tiger Woods. Jeff, 54 holes, no cuts, limited number of events, rich purses. Where the body of Tiger is right now, that seems to fit his game a lot better than 72 holes at a chilly St. Andrews. He's not wrong. I mean, like at 40, what's Tiger, 46 and rebuilt? I mean, would you have blamed him for 1 second to take $200 million to go over there and play 8 tournaments?
Absolutely not.
Now, I mean, well, he's got enough money.
What's enough?
Thank you. I mean, this isn't wrong, right? It's made like it's a perfect senior tour for Phil and him. Vijay Singh. Yeah, you're not going to watch Vijay Singh, are you? All right. Honda wants to know about inflation in AAA baseball. He wants to know, when did it get so expensive to go to a game? I don't know. I mean, when did it get so expensive to fill up your car? He says, before the pandemic, I think I was paying $8. Last week, I was quoted $19 for the same area. When I inquired about this significant increase, I was told they were now considered premium seats. When are nosebleeds ever considered premium seats? There's no nosebleeds in that ballpark, first of all.
You got some wins last week, though.
P.S. What's going to change between now and Saturday at the pitch? Brett Luna just said it's supposed to dump off and on at least until next Tuesday. How do we go from months without a drop to Florida-type daily downpours in less than a week? Boy, that's a lot of questions in there.
Monsoon
All right,
season.
so how do we go? I mean, it just, monsoon season hits. Although we don't normally get monsoons all day long like this. This is kind of, I mean, we got rain, dude. Like sometimes it
usually
rains.
The city like shuts down.
Yeah, I mean-
Albuquerque doesn't know how to handle monsoon.
Yeah, and this isn't exactly what I used to get. When I went to a Dukes game, it used to. Oh, okay, all right. 1998 prices aren't going to be the same as they are in 2022. I don't know how to answer your question. I would refer you to the isotopes. I just don't know the answer. Sebastian, no?
He knows a lot.
I see Friday. I might have a tea time Friday afternoon. It's supposed to like 20%, which is 80% of no rain. So I might be able to get one in on Friday, right? See if Sebastian
Yes.
could get one in too.
I got one in yesterday.
Did you play yesterday? How'd you play?
Really? It was fine.
Where'd you go?
Arroyo.
Nice. All right, we gotta get JJ out there
Oh, yes, we will.
for his once
Next year,
annual
we're all in for the
work
New
on
Mexico Bowl.
work on the JJ project. Sebastian Noel is the voice of the people. He's with us next. from ProView Networks on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
Walk to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff. One scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough. Back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco. For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch it.
7 o'clock in the morning.
7 a.m. where have you been? 7 a.m. where is your brother?
Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. This is the opening drive with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Bach.
Well, middle of summer, but that doesn't mean high school sports aren't happening. There's players going everywhere. I was watching. I follow Aiden Armenta, the quarterback at La Cueva, who I think is the best quarterback of the state. Saw him at the NAU, the Northern Arizona camp, get the most valuable player there. Saw him win they cobbled the team together at the UNM football camp and got a scholarship offer from the University of New Mexico. So and there's a lot of campers. There's a lot of guys that are out there doing stuff. But just to kind of illustrate, there's a lot going on. High school sports, and certainly the Gladiators, and there's a lot going on at ProView Networks. And what's today, Wednesday? Is that when we usually talk to the voice of the people? He is the voice of ProView Networks. Sebastian Noel joins us this morning on the opening drive. I appreciate your agility, your flexibility. Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, guys.
How you living? You good?
Yeah, of course.
It's an interesting time, and I want to start with the high school stuff and watching around. And we're going to go into a high school football season here. Camps will open. Everybody will go back here in about a month. And I'm looking around, and I know Aiden Chavez from Cibola has transferred out of state. I'm watching Aiden Armenta at these camps lighted up. I remember talking to you last year. I was at a game, and you were there. It was a La Cueva game. It was at Wilson Stadium. I think it was El Dorado. He threw a ball right before halftime, and I'm like, wow. And it was one ball. I'd watched him play a bunch. I said, he just throws such a good, deep ball, and he's a big, tall, strong-arm kid. I'm thinking another year of him to develop, and he'll be a senior this year. I really like him, and, boy, he's out at these camps, and he's killing it, isn't he?
Yeah, and that's why this time of the year is, even though it's quote-unquote downtime for us, right, in the media, it's the most important time for them because that's really when players develop and they get so much better. And Aiden certainly has done that. And, yeah, he's going to go into this year, without a doubt, with that target on his back as the number one quarterback in the state of New Mexico.
Who else are we talking about? When we talk about who are the best quarterbacks coming back, who else are we looking at?
Well, much like last year, I think last year when we had the two Aidens and obviously Evan Weissong over at Cleveland, but he's a different kind of quarterback. But there's a pretty big drop-off after that, right? So I think that will be the case again this year. I think you're going to see a pretty big drop-off, but after Aiden and Evan.
It's and guys will develop, right? I think by week 3, we're going to start saying, "Hey, look at what's going on here or there or wherever it is." We'll watch some underclassmen step up, and yes, I think we'll start to see some other guys. But yeah, there's a few guys to just really watch and be excited about. How good do you think Aiden Armenta can be at the college level?
Oh, I think he'll be fine because if he continues on this trajectory where he continues to develop, his arm strength has gotten better every year. The way he reads the field and just his presence in the pocket's gotten better. His leadership skill. The people I talk to, the guys really love playing with him. So yeah, I'm looking forward to Aiden's progress and then his post-high school career.
When we look at the offseason, a lot of it is about the 7-on-7s, quarterbacks, wide receivers. They get a lot of hype. Who are some of the defensive guys that we need to have on our radar heading into practice and then when the season starts?
Well, I think that secondary there at La Cueva is stacked. I think the one guy I would look out for right off the bat is Mason Posa. He's already got a couple of state championships under his belt in wrestling. He started playing as a freshman right away there at La Cueva, and pretty dominant guy, hard hitter. That defense is, has always been known for that at La Cueva. So I think you look at him. I think West Mesa's defense will be improved. They got a couple of guys out there, the DBs out there, the Thompson twins that are very good. And of course, Cleveland, you know they're always going to bring guys back. So Cleveland, I think their defense will be good. But if I had to pick one guy to really just shine a spotlight on as an individual defensive player, I would kind of lean towards Mason Posa of La Cueva.
And we look at the offseason, and we're seeing look back at the athletes of the year, a lot of great careers. Next year, I know we talked about Aiden Armenta, some of the names. Are there any, do you think, dark horses around the city or schools, kind of maybe like a Highland, that we see that will be able to take a step forward and at least be a good story when it comes to keeping it with football?
Keeping it with football, I mean, it's so much harder, and I hate to be this guy, but I really do think next year we're going to be set up for another year of 2 or 3 teams at the top, and then the rest being not as competitive and not as good. I think the parity in football has really, really dropped off, and I think it will continue to do so next year. It's not like the other sports, right? It's not, especially basketball, where we talk about so many teams contending. I just don't see it in football. You fast forward me to the end of the season. Let's let La Cueva and Cleveland play, and let's see what happens.
Yeah. He's the voice of the people. Sebastian Noel from ProView Networks. All right, hoops, you got teams going all over the country, playing in different tournaments. Has there been any movement? Have you heard of anything as far as players moving in and out, transferring, or kind of looking at what you expected coming back from last year?
Yeah, I mean, kind of everything what we expected from last year. We talked a few weeks ago about Judah Casals at Del Norte moving to ABC Prep.
Yes.
So, there's little rumblings there, always about, people possibly joining ABC Prep and not playing for their high school teams. But other than that, I think you're going to have hoop season's going to be very competitive, as it always is. You're going to have some young guys that just burst onto the scene last year. Okay, now can they follow that up, right? Like I think of a young Latavius Morris at Atrisco, Marquise Renfro at Atrisco, Daniel Jacobson, the big kid at La Cueva, right? How has he developed? Sandia has just 4 phenomenal guards. So, the parity is going to be great. The talent level is going to be great. And there's going to be a lot of individual guys to watch. And, of course, Jalen Holland at Los Lunas is probably my front runner for Player of the Year in basketball. He had more Exodus airs at La Cueva.
All right. You're also the voice of Duke City Gladiators indoor football, and tough one last 2 weeks. They lose on the road by 1, come home, and the kryptonite, the Arizona Rattlers, kind of put it to them the other day. And so now we're getting to that time of the season where, all right, we're running out of runway. They're getting important every week.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, there's 3 games left. So 2 of them are against the number 1 team in the league, Northern Arizona. 1 of them is against the bottom team in the league, San Diego. So obviously you know what you have to do, right? Can't have a slip-up against San Diego. But the one they gave away really was on the road. I mean, they just choked that one up. I hate to use that word, but that was a game they had to win, and they could have won, and they should have won. And JJ and I talked about that pretty extensively last week, so we don't want to rehash that. But no one was beating the Rattlers last week. JJ, you went to that game. You can answer this for me. Is that as good as is that the best you've seen the Rattlers play against us? I thought it was.
It was, and I think what's frustrating about that is I was really pleased with the crowd. It was a strong Saturday performance. A couple Arizona Rattlers fans sprinkled in there. Great start for Duke City, and then I thought had some self-inflicted errors, and then it just got out of control the rest of the way from them.
Yeah, I turned to my broadcast partner Daryl, and when Ramon had that first turnover, I turned to Daryl and I said, it's not looking good tonight. I said, Arizona's not turning it over tonight. They're not making any mistakes tonight. This is as good as we've seen them play against us. Like, this could be tough. And, it just snowballed from there. You have to play a perfect game to beat Arizona. Even though they're kind of sitting in second right now behind Northern Arizona, the road to the championship still goes through the Rattlers, and everybody knows that.
Do you think they're better than Northern Arizona, even though Northern Arizona is above in the standings?
Yes, I do. Yeah. I think they're MVP quarterback. I think they're better at that position. Their defense, I think their defense is better than Northern Arizona. They got Northern Arizona got them at their place. Now they'll have to go to the Footprint Center in Phoenix. So they'll have I think they play 2 more times by the end of the season. So there's a good chance Arizona will be at the top of the standings as the 1 seed, which isn't that's the interesting thing. I think if you're the Gladiators or a Gladiators fan, you almost hope, hey, can you avoid these guys in the first round? So if the playoffs started now and Northern Arizona stays at 1 and we stay at 4, then we don't have to play the Rattlers in the first round. I don't think anyone in town's complaining about that.
No, you'll take your chances there. All right, last I want to ask you about high school stuff. I know there's been not a board meetings and stuff, and I'm not going to lie. I've been traveling a bit. I haven't dove into it. Any significant changes, redistricting, rules? I've seen all kinds of little things bantied about. Anything that the basic high school sports fan's going to notice this season as far as just district or rules or playoffs or anything like that?
No, I don't think anything that the common fan will notice. As a matter of fact, I think most things are still in planning talks. I think the biggest thing you'll notice when we get to baseball is the return of the aluminum or whatever they call it, composite bats, right? No more wooden bats. So, yeah. So I think you'll notice that.
Okay. Well, that's good. All right. What do you got on ProView that people need to look at?
Well, I'm glad you gave me this time. I talked to Rio Grande's Jonah Lopez, right? And we don't talk about Rio Grande a lot on the program, right? And I talked to Jonah, who plays basketball there. He's on my show on Local Focus. So you could go to YouTube and just type in ProView Network's Local Focus, and you'll see it. And not only did we talk about, how tough, I asked him straight up, I said, how hard is it playing at Rio Grande when your teammates, your friends are talking about, hey, you haven't won in a year. What's going on? So we really kind of went through that, which was a very interesting discussion. He's such a mature young man. His response to his friends is always, well, come join us, man. Come run out there with us, which I think is a great attitude to have. Don't you guys think?
Oh, it's the right answer. Yeah. 100%.
And then the closest game he's in, actually, is for Valedictorian over there at Rio Grande, right? So him and a buddy are battling it out for Valedictorian. They got like a 4-point whatever, right? Like the highest you could get when I was going to school was 4.4. Not that I ever sniffed that, but he's so far above that, right? So the closest game he's involved in right now is trying to win be Valedictorian at Rio Grande. So it was a very well-rounded conversation with Jonah Lopez. Very, very nice young man. Our schedules finally met up where we could do that, and that's the man I introduced you to at the studio.
I remember that. That's really cool. All right, you can find that. Go to YouTube and put in ProView Networks. You can find that there on Local Focus. Appreciate the flexibility. We'll catch up with you next week, my friend. Be well.
All right, guys, be good.
Be well. Sebastian Noel, the voice of the people. I'll come back. And we get some NFL stuff to get through, not just Gronk and Deshaun Watson, but boy, oh boy, this Washington Commanders thing is ugly, and what should happen? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Telling it like it is.
Every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS Network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit CarCrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Happy birthday today to a former Lobo basketball great. You know, we talk about nicknames all the time, and feels like the great nicknames are no longer. Like, what's the best nickname in today? Well, happy birthday today to a former Lobo great who had one of the great nicknames, Automatic. Marvin Automatic Johnson, one of the great scorers in Lobo basketball history. His birthday's today. Another former Lobo great will join us tomorrow. Kenny Thomas scheduled to be with us at 8 o'clock tomorrow. Coach of the Enchantment is a group of former Lobos. The Enchantment will find out against whom and when. I think they probably know who they're going to play in the first round of the TBT. I guess it's not the TBT, of TBT, the basketball tournament. Next month, I think it's the 17th of July, a Monday at the Pit.
18th.
Is it the 18th? The more I think about it, the more people I talk to, the more it makes sense that the opener will be the Enchantment versus the Panamaniacs, the Lobo alumni team versus the New Mexico State alumni team. It guarantees a really good gate for game one, and guarantees that one of those teams
playing the next day
will go the next day, and so you'll have a pretty good draw.
So here's the thing too, that I think business-wise it's the right move, but this also isn't just a friendly.
Oh, hardly.
Like, this is going to be more intense than even the late, Lobo Aggie All-Star games got, because these guys
there's $1 million on the line.
Are playing for $1 million.
Yeah.
Not just, hey, I'm going to take some shots at you on Twitter after the game. The other teams that are coming, like, they're full of professionals. Like, this isn't.
There's professionals on these teams too now.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. These are professional basketball players. It's not just, hey, here's a bunch of former Lobos and Aggies that you might have heard of, and they're putting them at the TBT. Because you look at some of the other teams that are coming in. You got a Boise State alumni team that looks like they're going to be here. Colorado State alumni team that's going to be here. But then, Competitive Choice, Fort Hood, Wounded Warriors.
Competitive Choice, is that the team like with Billy White and
yeah, so you should. No, that's overtime.
Okay, sorry.
But
how'd I mix that up?
Like these are teams that have guys that are playing at the highest levels overseas that are still very good at basketball. It's not a bunch
And in
of
shape and in
yeah,
at
this
the top
isn't
of their
just
game.
like a has-been tournament. Like you got dudes that are making money professionally that they're taking a chance to make a little bit more in the TBT.
That's what should make that Monday night so cool. That's what should make that game really, really, really fun. I go back, when Cameron Barrett was putting together those alumni games, they were really fun in the summer. And then there was the year they did the Lobo alumni against the Aggie alumni, and for whatever reason you missed that game. And I remember coming back and saying that was the best Lobo Aggie game I've seen in a decade. Like it was competitive. It was fun until it got down to it was real. I want to say it was like 105, 102, something crazy. It was awesome. It was dudes out balling, and what were they playing for? Just to beat the Aggies, just to beat the Lobos. Now they got $1 million on the line, and by the way, it's gonna be on national television. It's gonna be the worldwide leader covers this, so it will be really cool. So Kenny is gonna be in tomorrow. We're going to talk about that, but the more I think about the concept, the business side of it, the more people I talk to, I'm becoming more and more convinced. The only way to guarantee you get that matchup, and you all want to see it. You all want to see it. Now, would you love to see it in the third round? Sure, but there's no way to guarantee that happens. And so the only way to guarantee that you get that matchup is to play it in the first round. And I mean, it's kind of a bummer, but it's really kind of cool too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we'll do that. Also tomorrow, 50th anniversary of Title IX. And Janice Ruggiero is going to be with us tomorrow morning at 7:30, the longtime senior women's representative and associate athletic director at UNM and former player at UNM, was my broadcast partner when I did Lobo women's basketball games for TV. She's just terrific, but she was such an advocate, such a fighter. I'm looking forward to talking to her tomorrow, not only about the impact of Title IX and what it means at 50, but the evolution of Title IX and kind of what the pushback was at the beginning as opposed to the acceptance and then what it really did. Did it do what it was intended to do? And I think tomorrow we'll have a good celebration, good conversation about Title IX. So I'm looking forward to that, and that's what tomorrow looks like. All right, before the break, I told you about what's going on in Washington. Well, I referred to what's going on in Washington. The Commanders, and more so their owner, Daniel Snyder, are accused of conducting what is called a shadow investigation. There were allegations that he fostered a toxic work culture within his organization, that he worked closely with the National Football League to monitor and ultimately to bury findings from an official internal investigation. Who did this investigation now? Who found all this? A U.S. House committee. This was the Senate. This was not the Senate. This was the House of Representatives. So the House Oversight Committee. When you're a football team and you have Congress digging through your drawers, you got a problem. You got a real problem. And that, I'm never one who says, you know where I am. I hate the cancel stuff. Wow, he's got to be fired. He's got to sell the team. What good has come from Daniel Snyder's name in the last, 5, 8, 10 years? What good has come out of that organization?
Nothing.
I mean, some of you will tell me the changing of the name, and okay, I'll listen to that. But every time you hear something coming out of there, it's about work culture, it's about allegations of this or that, or it's all misery, isn't it?
When you start connecting the dots,
yeah,
it's pretty easy to come away with Daniel Snyder was a really powerful dude
with a lot of money
that figured he could get away with anything and do whatever he wants.
Well, now the U.S. House Oversight Committee crawled into him. They have over 600 pages of depositions. Roger Goodell's going to have to testify. So there's all kinds of stuff in here, right? This was an 8-month investigation. 8 months. They claim that they found evidence that Snyder used subpoena authority, which was available to parties involved in lawsuits outside of the country, to obtain correspondence from former President Bruce Allen and former employees. The goal was to build a case to the NFL that it was the former guy, Bruce Allen, for the team's toxic workplace environment. That former employees were conspiring to disparage him, the owner. The committee says that Snyder used a common interest agreement between his team and the NFL to attempt to steer the direction of this investigation. Dude, at some point, when are they going to get rid of him? He's declined to appear at hearings. He's out of the country. He's got business. He's out of the country. What's his business? The allegations stem from women. They stem from men. Toxic work environment. Quote, a close examination of Mr. Snyder's petition suggests that his focus was not on discovering the sources of the allegations, but on those who were behind them, end quote. They went through 400,000 emails. He's forced to sell this team at some point, right?
Yes. And this is where the John Gruden stuff came from.
100%.
The leaked emails.
That's right. That's exactly right.
And who was just trying to throw John Gruden under the bus and try to make him the scapegoat. Didn't work there. So it sounds like Daniel Snyder has done plenty of bad things, done a lot of work to cover it up, and it's not working.
No.
It's like a bad dude that it's like, I can get away with anything because I'm an NFL owner. I got money. I'm going to persuade a bunch of people to do this and do that. And the rest of the owners, it gets to a point where
it's damaging your product.
Yeah, you're like, you know what, Daniel? You might think you have a lot on us, but you're done.
Well, I'm sure he's got something on all of them, right? I mean, they all got their dirty laundry. I'm sure they all have their little internal secrets, their little whatever it is.
We've seen it. Jerry Richardson, the Panthers owner, a few years back, was forced out.
Yeah, they
so
forced
it's
him
not
out.
Uncommon.
And I couldn't even tell you what I think he did. What did Jerry Richardson do? Do you know why he was forced out? I don't even know that story. And I'm not telling you this is Donald Sterling, but it kind of feels like it. Like Donald Sterling had that one big blow up moment where really, and he was caught saying that, and then remember V. Stiviano? Remember her? Remember that character? Like, if there's a where is she now? Can you tell me where is she now? He's like my little rabbit. He was, or I'm his little rabbit. That's what she said. I'm his little rabbit. Like, where is she now? But that he had that big moment. This guy's had like a decade of little moments. Don't they add up to the weight of that?
Yeah.
At some point, like nothing good comes from just sell your team, dude, make your billions and walk away. And why do you need this mess? Like, I guess you don't want to be disgraced and be told what to do. But at some point, wouldn't you just say, you know what, take it, man. I don't need this crap anymore. Somebody buy my team for $4 billion and I'll walk away. Or $5 billion. What would the Broncos just sell for?
$4.5 billion.
So I got to believe I almost said the old name. I got to believe the Commanders are worth $5 billion, right? They're in D.C. They got, right? What would you do, man? $5 billion. I don't want to live that lifestyle. I'm done, man. I'll go live. I'm out. I'll buy a suite if I want to go to the games. Who's watching your home? Hope it's the good guys and not the bad guys. There's a lot of bad guys out there. Property crime's on the increase. There's a officer shortage. You can have private security for about $5 a day. I've used IPS I've used them. I've employed them. I've had them watch my home for years. International Protective Service. You see their vehicles all around town. Aaron Jones owns IPS. Aaron's from Albuquerque, passionate about making Albuquerque a safer place to live and work. By watching your home, watching your business with highly trained armed guards or 24-hour patrols. Aaron keeps the bad guys away. I've told you all kinds of stories. I mean, I see them by every day. My neighbors now use them. I told you the story about when my brother, during Bull Week, left the garage door open at night, and they patrol the house. And 3-something in the morning, they're sitting out in front making sure nobody goes in until somebody would answer a phone and go down and close the garage door. That's what they do. They look out for you. I trust them. I've been out of town. The alarm goes off. They call me. They're out there making sure everything's okay. Call them and see what they can do for you. Protect what's important to you. 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420 or visit them online at ipsglobal.com.
Telling it like
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco. For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView
Did you
Network
see,
broadcast.
was it BK basketball? What is it? I'll find it again for you. Lobos, according to this early season list, 13th, it was CBK report. That's what it was. Do you see this? The 25 best backcourts in men's college basketball going in, Lobos were 13th on the list. Does it mean anything to you?
Well, I don't know who that is. I'm not saying it's
CBK
not
report.
reputable.
Yeah, it's CBK report. I saw it the other day.
If they have 1,000 followers on Twitter.
Okay.
So they're trying to build their brand, and this is a perfect way to do it because
because all it does is make people scream.
Yes. Good on you.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. And
Well, out of 354 teams, whoever CBK report is, has Lobo men's basketball. That's Mashburn House, and then add Donovan Dent and KJ Jenkins, and that 13 best in the league. San Diego State was on this list at 18. I saw San Diego State in some poll yesterday, preseason, the too early rankings, 14th in the country. I think that's way too high. But yeah, this is nice. It's good. It's good to look. Who's the top of them? I mean, Carolina, who was in the national championship game. Houston, who was in the Final Four. Baylor, who's a perennial power. Miami, Texas, Creighton, Kentucky, Gonzaga, Duke, Alabama, TCU, and St. Louis. That's it. Then there's New Mexico, ahead of UCLA, ahead of Arkansas, ahead of Tennessee and Auburn, Texas A&M and Indiana, Michigan State. Okay. Take it for what it's worth, but you're getting a little respect, and that's. I think global fans realize if there's something to do up front, if they got better, if Udeze and what Richard Pitino brought in, A, stays healthy, and B, pans out, this backcourt is spectacular and is good enough to bring you into the upper echelon of this league, and dare I say, contend.
this is a top 4 team right now in the Mountain West. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
And
you're not waiting.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I just want context because I know there's global fans who go, top 4, what are you talking about? Dude, they were 9th last year. The year before that, they were worse than that. So I just want to contextualize it.
Yeah. And also, if you finish at least in the top 5, you're not playing on the first day of the Mountain West tournament. And if you're in a competitive basketball league, which the Mountain West is, then finishing top 4, while maybe not quite bubble worthy yet, is good.
Well, maybe. It depends how good
And
this league is. And
I think
top 4 has been bubble worthy in this league.
I don't know if it's going to be bubble worthy this year, because I think Colorado State, Boise State, they're sliding back a little bit. So can they have enough to where those are good resume wins? It's San Diego State and Wyoming battling for the preseason favorite. And then it opens it up
All right.
for
At
New
some
Mexico.
point, UNLV is going to get better, right?
UNLV. That's what we're looking at now.
Boise State's recruited their backsides up.
Mm-hmm.
You see some of the guys they got? Yeah.
But they've also lost a lot of established
They did.
talent.
No, they did. They
So
did.
that's why they slide back a little bit. Same thing for Fresno State. This is a top 4 team. Your backcourt doesn't need to develop. The players you brought in to play right away this season are 4-year dudes. Morris Udeze is your starting center. You're not waiting on him to learn anything. Josiah Alec is like that. That's the thing that you talk about a lot, Jeff. And last week, I think it was Tuesday. Rich Pacino kind of did his kind of state of the program in the summer. I had a chance to go check out the practice eye test. I know it doesn't matter they've been through
Not
adversity.
big on the eye test.
But you look at this team, and especially in the front court, like they don't look young.
So they got bigger, not just bigger, not just older, but what I've been told, and you and I haven't had this conversation. One of the things I told you I came out of the conference tournament was they were smaller, not necessarily. I mean, obviously they were shorter, but bulk wise, strength wise, and these two guys up front don't need to develop. I mean, you always want to get stronger, but they're big. These are men that are brought in. They're men
in a Division I basketball program for 4 seasons.
Yeah, they have the bodies of men.
And then even the length that was brought in, on the perimeter, like Javante Johnson's going to be in a better position. Jalen Tovar is going to be in a better position.
How did Tovar look? Jalen
He looks
Tovar.
the same.
Does he? Okay. I think there's so much there, and that may be one of Richard's best jobs since he's been here, is working with Jay Allen Tovar, developing his game, getting him to a place where everybody thought he was gone. And I remember watching his Twitter afterwards, and he was almost defiant. And I don't even want to say almost. He was, look, I'm not going anywhere. Everybody thought he was leaving. And, we hear about body language. Who was it? Who called him body language? Was it?
Who said that?
Body language.
Body language.
But people watch his body language. And oh, he's gone. And Jay Allen Tovar's like, I'm not going anywhere, man. I'm here. And you don't believe me? All right, well, I'm still here. Yeah. I thought his development last year was the best development on that team.
And he's going to be freer from not playing the 5 all the time. Like, there's going to be times where
position, man.
Yeah, but there's going to be times where you won't attack some teams, maybe a few minutes, Jalen Tovar at the 5, like deal with it. Maybe you can exploit some matchups. But knowing, all right, you're going to be at the 4, probably be a better help defender in that case. Is lateral quickness. That's what's really intriguing about the forwards. When you look at Morris Udeze, who's talked about a willingness to fight on the pick and roll game and defend players. Josiah Alec talked about his lateral quickness is really things he wants to work on. So you have guys understanding that they need to play big, but also the way the game is played, surviving the pick and rolls when teams are trying to hunt the matchup. They haven't played a game yet, but all the things you want to see to back up the hype are there.
Yeah, it was Marty number 2. Body language, wasn't it? Marty number 2 called.
I think
him,
it was
about?
Marty.
Yeah,
one of the Martys.
Yeah, body language.
And then Donovan Dent. Listening.
How did he look?
Looks good. He's hyper athletic, dude. That you see. All right. Well, he's the freshman. Now he's not as non-developed. Like he's an athlete. Like you said, this dude's been lifting weights. Stands out as like Braden Applehans is a kid that's just like looks like he's 15 years old.
Okay.
But in terms of Dent, is like what I like about him too is the way he carries himself. Like he came in and he was asked a lot last week on Tuesday about, Jalen House, Jamal Mashburner here. Why'd you come? And he's like, well, I like these guys. And I know this team can be good. And not only do I want to challenge Jalen House, I know that if we're on the court together, we can make plays. I'm like, that is the perfect mindset. Because everyone else outside the program is like, there's only one basketball on the court. It's like, have you never seen people play basketball, y'all? Like, look at the Warriors. Remember when people were like, Miami Heat are never going to work. It's Dwayne Wade and LeBron James. If you move the basketball, you play fast, you make plays, everyone's happy.
Here's one thing that I will never buy into here, and probably rarely, that you have too much talent. There's just too much. Because I get this. I've been doing this.
You haven't won anything to say there's too much talent.
Well, look, I've been doing this particular show for 14 years. I've been in this market for coming up on 26. Every year, where's the playing time coming from, Jeff? There's only one basketball. And that's pretty much June, July.
You have a true freshman backup point guard right now.
January comes. Where's the scoring coming from, Jeff? Yeah. So it all turns from we have too much to we don't have enough. And when you find that sweet spot, and you're never going to find the sweet spot if you don't have enough. Mm-hmm. And I don't even know what too much is. It kind of goes back to how much is too much money? I don't know. I'll never know that.
And it's just like things just looks like it's a good rhythm for 2 years for Richard Pitino, to have some young guys to develop, and Sebastian Forsling, who's getting a chance. He's back home in Sweden. He's going to be doing some national team stuff this summer. But Brima Sek, long.
Okay.
I do expect. He said that he's just a guy that, as we kind of joked about yesterday, he's just skinny, man. Like he's working out, he's getting stronger, but he's just a skinny dude. Yeah. Like, and that you just enjoy that while it lasts.
Right.
But it just they look stronger, they look mature in the front court, but also the balance of having the guys that you brought in last year, starting backcourt, ready to go. You're starting front court. I think Oleg's probably going to come off the bench. So you have Morris Udeze, Jalen Tovar. Oleg probably plays some of the backup five. So mixed up there with Forsling.
Who's your starting five right now? It's obviously House and Mashburn and Tovar and Udeze. And who plays the three? Is it Johnson?
I think Devontae Johnson.
Is it John? Okay.
Right now as the three, so you get that size.
No, I love that.
Remember the shooting ability.
Because then he's in position. I think you had him playing the four.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see too many games where he doesn't even get a shot attempt. I think he's more involved
off a game where he shoots so well.
Being on the perimeter in the offense, and then like I'm saying, going back to Donovan Dent, 6'2" guard, but you see the athleticism, you see the confidence, and
you got two.
Someone that stood out to me.
What about KJ? I mean,
KJ Jenkins, who, if you're looking for minutes,
he's going to shoot. He's going to get his points.
I think his role shrinks a little bit. More of just which is fine. Hey, can you come off the bench and be our Steve Kerr? Fantastic.
All right.
For a few minutes, and then someone that really intrigued me was Quentin Webb, 6'6" forward freshman. Just because you see him and immediately you're like, that guy's longer than anyone else.
It's interesting.
Like on the wing, trying to fill that position, because that is really the one area that the Lobos don't have a lot of options, and it's that at small forward. Trying to be that versatile defender, being that bridge player. Right? Maybe you have to match up a little bit bigger at sometimes, but can you chase down some guards? And I don't think he's going to get a lot of playing time, but I really like the foundation that's there for Quentin Webb, because you just see him and you're like, wow, that dude his wingspan is going to.
That's really good. That's really good. I'm glad you went out and did that. I know I was out of town. I would have loved to go out and seen that. All right, 505-246-0610. That's how to get to us today. I'm going to take this final break. We'll come back. I'll get you up to date on everything that happened whilst we were on the air this morning, and still have time for you to correspond. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Online on the NFHS Network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco. For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services.
Sports Animal.
For more,
You took the time to send them. We'll take the time to read them. The text line is 505-246-0610. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. What do you got?
Oh, man.
Oh, man. That's a good start.
Yeah.
Is it the hate line?
Double standard guys look at the NBA and LeBron James and Nike. Were we okay with them doing business with the Chinese? How soon we... that's not what I really want to get into.
Well, let's hit that. Were we okay?
The other one. So here's one. How soon we forget under the previous administration, the U.S. led the world in oil and natural gas exports, and we're energy independent. Then comes along Joe Biden and kills all that. We should not be dependent on any Saudi oil.
Okay, but we're fine. But we are, and we're doing business with them. And by the way, we've never stopped doing business with them. We might have relied less on their oil at some point, but we never stopped doing business with the Saudis. So if my question was, if the country is doing business with the Saudis, why is it not okay for individuals to do business with them?
If Ronchetti wins in November, does that kill the stadium idea once and for all, like Jeff wants? Question mark.
What does that even mean?
It's probably from our buddy that
one
talks
guy
all the time in the stadium. Talked.
I never said I don't want
a suggestion
to have a stadium. I never said
talk
that.
show topic change.
Yeah.
Away from Saudi golf money to the World Cup being held in Qatar.
It's interesting.
Which, yes, they've had terrible issues with their workers, and they have it there because from FIFA bribery issues.
All right, so let me ask you that.
Yep.
Do people?
And it's thrown everything off because the World Cup is usually in summer, but they put it in Qatar and they have to play it in November.
Hot, yeah. So do people have an issue with? I mean, how many people have died? And there's been countless documentaries done on this and stories. People going over to build these palaces of stadiums for Qatar to host the World Cup. The human rights violations, ethical. I mean, everything that's gone on there. But yet the world's going to go there and celebrate the beautiful game in November, and we're okay. Everybody's okay with that.
I don't think everyone's okay with it.
All right, but everybody's going to watch soccer and enjoy it, right? Okay. I mean, we all. What did you call it? Cleansing by sport? Is that what you called it?
No, it's the word that's been brought up by people during this called sports washing.
Sports washing. Okay. Yeah. All right. What else you got?
Gronk comes back week 4.
It's a fair guess.
Prediction.
Yeah. It's a good one.
And then just someone remembering Marvin Automatic Johnson, the night he scored 50 points for Colorado State.
So Marvin was here before I was, but I know the legend that he is, and certainly was, and he's such a great dude. But yeah, how's that for a nickname, by the way? Automatic. That's a good one.
Good one.
Yeah.
It's a very good one.
All right. You got anything else?
That covers it.
All right.
All right.
Terry, good morning.
Good morning to all of you. Happy hump day. I'll admit I was flawed about the Astros. My daughter, knowing Alex and hanging out with him, and that brings up that Kate Upton's husband is coming back pretty well from his Tommy John surgery, so he's doing well. So, yeah, I'm not perfect in what sides I take, and we'll decide things. My dad was a lieutenant colonel in the Air Force, and he said I didn't serve for everybody to think like me. I just served that everybody could think and have an opinion. So nice things is sometimes we agree, sometimes we don't. I do appreciate DJ just being honest, saying, yeah, I'm paid a lot of money and I don't have to work as much. So moving on. I still don't know what PGA has done for the little guy. Some of these new things still, I don't know. The FedEx, I would take that money and just put it back in the regular tour. They had it in November. Football was dominating. They moved it to September, kept changing the rules. I would just put that money back into regular purses, but then maybe take some of it to take care of the little guys who are trying to make a buck from that standpoint there. But so from that standpoint, we move on. Deshaun, well, I know they're not going to do what I suggested. For every case he settled, he sit out 3 or 4 games. But for a guy who said he wasn't going to settle, so be it. So I think that's where journalism can come into play when they finally had the ladies speak and you could see them on TV. It's like anything. Once you visualize it or hear it audio-wise, it changes some people's opinion. I think he's gone for the year. I don't know. Does anybody try to get Jimmy G, or do they Baker? I think Baker's got to go. I don't know. Somebody do a three-way trade.
Here's the deal on Baker. So Jimmy G's coming off shoulder surgery. Baker's coming off injuries, but he should be relatively healthy. He's in your building. I mean, JJ, what would you rather do? You're not going to trade Baker for Jim Garoppolo because they have no desire to take Baker Mayfield from you. So you're going to have to trade way more to get Jim Garoppolo. So your option, if Deshaun's out for the year, your option is Jacoby Brissett, or you got to eat a plate of crow, probably 3 bowls of it, and go back and rely on Baker for a year. I don't know what your better option. I mean, tell me a better option.
No, and that's why I say you were going to trade him straight across. I don't know if there was one way to get Baker to Seattle or Carolina and Jimmy G. And,
well, there still is. There still is.
I don't think
you can get rid of him if you're going to pay his salary.
Right, because see, I just can't see putting him on the field. He doesn't want to be there. I think it'd be a total mess. But then that's kind of how Cleveland operates. Their whole last 40 years has been a total mess. So maybe that's what they do. I thought Fitzmagic might have been the option, but I guess he's now going to do a little Thursday night pregame commentary. But I don't see how he plays this year, Deshaun. I know they'll appeal it because that's their job for the union to fight it. But I think he definitely is gone for the year, and so we'll see what they can do or not do. But
thanks, Terry.
You guys have a great
I appreciate
day.
you. Hey, who's Hard Knocks? Is it Carolina? Who are they doing on Hard Knocks this year? Because whatever they do, they should. Right? If Baker Mayfield goes back, they should change it to the Browns. I mean, it's just got to be right. I just think you tell me you don't want to see that. After everything that went down there, you don't want to see that gong show in Cleveland? Because I sure as hell do.
I think it's a Detroit Lions.
Okay. Dan Campbell could be
best 3-win team in NFL history.
That's 100% true. You know that's true too. So we get Jared Goff and Dan Campbell, and
you know that's true.
Damn right, it's true.
It's true.
Thanks to the voice of the people, Sebastian Noel was with us. Tomorrow we'll celebrate 50 years of Title IX. Janice Ruggiero will be with us at 7:30. Kenny Thomas, the former Lobo great, will be with us at 8 because today, in about 5 minutes, the TBT brackets are announced. We'll talk about that. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowherd after that. 2 Men On comes your way at 4. Then the Isotopes are in Las Vegas tonight. We'll come back tomorrow morning. You want to do award-winning radio start about 7 a.m.?
Let's go. All
right, big day for you today?
Huge day.
Enjoy your 4-day weekend. Look at you, TV guy.
Woo woo.
Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll smell you tomorrow.
I'd like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Dreamstyle Stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream Style Stucco.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.